so that you can live your life and money on purpose. Whether you choose to walk or to run, see how having a financial plan can be so much fun. Whether you choose to walk or to run, see how having a financial plan can be so much fun. Stay as long as you can, make sure to come back again. Have a coffee or tea and learn about living the Moolah V. Welcome to Living the Moolah V community. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey everyone, welcome to Living the Moolah V community. It's Kevin Giebert here, and I'm a little casual today because I'm taking my backpack and I am going on a trip, a journey we call life that we live in every single day. And what I'd like to do is talk about what should be packed into your financial plan. But before we talk about that journey, make sure you hashtag below Moolah V. That's MOOLAVIE. If you'd like to have more information and a direct message from me with the link to join the Live in the Moolah V community, where we have great programs, great live events throughout the week, Moolah V networking, which happens on Mondays, and then also on throughout the week we have Creative Moolah V. It's for those of you that want to write and introduce each other to what you do creatively in life, what puts a smile on your face. And then also on Thursday, we have improve, but also take the E and put it in brackets. And you have the word improv E. So it's for everyone, but also for those entrepreneurs out there that want to improve their lives as well as think on the spot. Improv, like improvisation when somebody shouts out something to one of my jokes on stage. Or when you're at work and your boss comes in and says, hey, can you do this differently? And you have to think on your feet. So a little bit of improving, but also a little bit of improving. And who says we can't have fun in this life? So when you're going on a pack, say you're going climbing a mountain or going on a walk, you may want to pack some water. You may want to pack some sunscreen. You may want to pack some off or bug repellent for those lovely flies, or let's just say mosquitoes that love to suck your blood. And food and granola bars and all the stuff. But what would be packed into your financial plan? And I talk about this in my book called Financial Photographs, How to Talk to Your Family on Money. If you turn to chapter 15, page 67, it says, what should be packed in your financial plan? Susie Orman quotes, a big part of financial freedom is having your heart and mind free from worry about the what ifs of life. And if you're on a trip, you may think, what if I remember that extra bottle of water? What if I remembered that mosquito spray? What if I just put that extra couple granola bars in there and I didn't because my backpack was just too heavy? But when it comes to financial planning, let me ask you 3 questions. What is your definition of protection when it comes to financial planning? When would someone who didn't have a financial plan wish that they had completed one? And what would you do if you received an unexpected inheritance? So those 3 questions to ponder, and put your comments down below. And so we can have some discussion too. And when you come to what's PACT, the PACT, so all you spelling bee winners out there, I know PACKED, but I like using acronyms a lot. So PACT. P stands for protection. A stands for accumulation. C stands for conversion. And T stands for transfer. So let's just spend a few minutes here and explore what each of those letters means, or what each of those words means. And let's start with the letter P, which today stands for protection. Now, when you're thinking of protection within your financial plan, you're thinking of the, what ifs, you're thinking about the, what if I get injured? What if I pass away? What am I going to leave for my family? Sorry, I lost the spot in my book. 1 second. Technical difficulties. So you're thinking of protection in the sense of, life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance. Protection could be your rainy day fund, your emergency fund. What happens if you're at work and you're an employee and your company doesn't have a great benefits plan? What happens to protect you from the hot water tank going out, the car breaking down, all these maintenance things that should be part of your moolah flow, which we have talked in a previous video about if you remember that bad word, the BUDGET word. So just protecting, setting up that plan, thinking about that what if, so that when you get to that what if, you're not going to say, oh my goodness, I wish I would have talked to somebody. I wish I would have done that. So just basically, it's more detailed, but in the simplest form, how are you going to protect yourself for those what ifs, those things that you hope never happens but do happen, and so forth. Now, if we jump to the letter A, today the letter A stands for accumulation. Now, accumulation would be, building up your savings. Again, emergency fund, but you're accumulating. Accumulating a list on the grocery store, so when you go there, you don't buy extra stuff. But when it comes to, in addition, when it comes to accumulating, that's just when you're making money, where are you putting it, how much you need, when you will need it, when retirement is, then you'll start spending it, of course. That is a sneak peek to the next letter of the PACT word. But at the end of the day, you're accumulating your retirement savings, you're accumulating assets, and at the same time, too, accumulating, you are paying down that debt, too, in the sense of it's a car loan, if it's your mortgage, whatever have you, right? A business loan, that sort of thing. You're accumulating assets if you're a business owner, too, within your company. So hopefully you can sell it as an asset down the road. And that is a segue into the third letter of what's packed into your financial plan, the letter C. And today, the letter C stands for conversion. Yes, converting your assets into other assets where you may sell and buy something else. Converting yourself, transforming yourself, transitioning yourself from working to retirement and hoping you can stay retired. Because when you're converting, let's say, to retirement plan, within your financial plan, you are basically converting that accumulation phase, converting it to the spending phase, and you may have a pension, you may have government pensions, that sort of thing. But just making sure, because if I really asked you, we could all retire today if we want to. Yes, but we may have to just go back to work tomorrow. We may be able to retire next week, but then we may have to go back to work the following week. We may be able to retire next month, but then have to go back to work the month after. And probably not, unless you choose to do this, you may retire today for the next 10 years and then realize that you do have to find another job, go back to work because you have not planned properly. So that brings us to the last letter of what's packed into your financial plan. And the letter T today is brought to you by the word transfer. Yes. It's another way of saying estate planning. And if you don't have your protection in place, you don't have your accumulation the way you need it, and you don't have the right conversion strategy, okay, then you may be able to have an estate plan. Please, please, please talk to somebody about having your will, your power of attorneys, all that stuff, depending on where you live. Please, please talk to somebody about getting that in place or updated as needed. Or just talk about to see if something does need to be updated or changed or added or subtracted because you talk to that professional. Now that would be like a lawyer, notary public, depending on where you live, what the title is and so forth. But just in general, just say a lawyer. Okay. So you have your estate plan. You want to set up your beneficiaries. You want to know what happens to your money when you pass away. Maybe what you want left to everybody else. Okay. If you're married, maybe not maybe, you should highly recommend to talk to your spouse or partner to what they would like you to leave for them. Okay. This is not a selfish thing. It's just basically trying to keep the standard of living. Just like, if you're in an unfortunate situation to divorce and you have to pay child support or spousal support, then of course, the reason for that is just keeping the same lifestyle, right? For your ex-partner, spouse, or your kids or dependents, right? So it's just very important. Maybe you want, as part of that transfer conversation, you want to write out, well, what is the legacy that I want to leave? And what do I need to do to add to it, improve it, change it going forward? Because you and I, we really don't know how many days we'll have left on this earth, and also how many healthy days we will have on this earth as well. So let's review. What is packed in your financial plan? P stands for protection. A stands for accumulation. C stands for conversion. And T stands for transfer. Now, if I look back on the chapter of what's packed into your financial plan, in the book on page 70, in sharper focus, I added these 3 points. 1, on a piece of paper, make a list of everything that would potentially be lost if you were not able to work for 3 months, and then 1 year, and then let's just add, can't work for the rest of your life. Also, here we go. If you were to never work again. Point 2, if you and your spouse or partner have minor dependents or dependents in general, what would happen if you were to die in a common disaster and neither of you had a will? One way to look at this is that find out from where you live, the government rule, federal, provincial, whatever rules, or state or whatever, wherever you live, right? In Canada, federal, provincial. So knowing what happens in regards to if you were to pass away without having a will in place? What would the government do? What decisions do they make for you? And I don't think you really want the government to be making decisions for you. And if you have a retirement plan in place, how long will you be able to live without having to rely on government benefits? So for instance, just an example in Canada, if you don't have a pension, you might have retirement savings and so forth. But what happens when all your retirement investment savings, all that stuff, if you don't have a pension plan from your company, but you're relying on the government benefits? How much is that? And how would things be if you basically had to live just on government benefits? Because basically, when you're looking at what's packed into your financial plan, there's part of a re-engineering part to that. Reverse engineering point to that is that if you're working with someone like myself as a financial planner, then of course we're looking at what you need, what you'd like, variable likes, fixed ones that you really need, and then projecting what money you may have and benefits you may have, and then reverse engineering to today to make sure that you can, without the emergency, but that's what your emergency fund is. That's what protection programs are all about, and savings. But basically, maybe you may have to change your lifestyle right now, your spending habits, your investing habits right now, in order to be able to fulfill that conversion and that transfer goals that you have and that you want for yourself, but also for those that you love, that you will be leaving, say, money to, charities, family. And then, of course, two is what you can't really put money on it, but what wisdom do you want to pass down? And also, what wisdom do you want to share during the protection, accumulation, conversion, and transfer times of your family and friends? So then again, this is Kevin Giebert. Thanks for taking your time, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to wherever you may be tuning in. And if you'd like to learn more about Living the Moolah community, hashtag Moolah, MOOLAH below, and I'll be sure to connect with you and invite you to our great community. So my goal, my wish for you is to live your life and money on purpose. Until next time, see you later. Bye.